Okay, so good morning. We're here with Piers Ujjainwalla, who is the CEO and founder of Knak, for our new COVID coffee series, reimagined, thanks to the input and power of Invest Ottawa. So good morning, Piers. How are you doing? And thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well here as the weather starts to get a little colder in Ottawa.
No, for sure. I think tomorrow's gonna be a nice little day at 12, 13, but then it's back to the winter temperatures. So so hold
Yeah.
on, you got one more day. And with us again as usual is obviously Lindsay in the top left there, sitting in a nice brick and beam location today. Hi Lindsay, how you doing?
Doing well. I'm at the Drip House on Parkdale.
The home office today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll kind of kick it off, Piers. So just tell us a little bit more about you and about Knak and about what you guys do in the community here in Ottawa.
Yeah, so Knak is a SaaS company and we focus on email creation. So our platform helps really large enterprise companies with distributed teams around the world to make better emails.
And you've been around for how many years, Piers?
So this is our 5th year of business, yeah.
Because so you could be, I guess you could be identified as a mature startup, I guess, right? I mean, is 5 years, does that give you the honor of that title or not?
We have definitely come a long ways from our beginnings, you know. I think we still have a long way to go, but we're getting more mature over the years, yeah.
Perfect. So on that note, then tell us a little bit more about the beginnings and your experience with the Invest Ottawa team. And I think you guys graduated from the accelerator program, right? Just recently. So tell us a little bit more about that,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. So Knack was always sort of a bit of a side hustle for me. I was running a consulting business in a similar space. But probably, 2 or 3 years into running it kind of on the side, it was really picking up steam. And that's when we got serious about it, kind of ran it for a year as a standalone company. And that's when we got involved with Invest Ottawa. So it's probably, I think it was our 4th year of business where we started getting a lot more advisors in Ottawa and seeing the benefits of working with people who have kind of been there and done that. Um, and then, yeah, heard about Invest Ottawa, met with Nick over there, and it just seemed like a really good fit for us for where we were and what they were able to offer us with all the great programs they have between helping with fundraising, um, helping with great mentors that they have, and just connecting you with other companies that are doing similar things.
Yeah, because I guess, I mean, that's an important, obviously, aspect is the mentorship. But you just touched on this in your last point there, PS, is having the ability to collaborate with other like-minded co-founders and maybe kind of problem solve together. Co-founders that are on a very similar maybe path, trajectory, or even timeline for their business, right? Was that something that was a huge benefit to you, as to kind of leverage your peer group's experience as well at the same time, thanks to Invest Ottawa?
Yeah, and I think it's really even beyond our leadership team, like everyone in the company is really benefiting from it. From, our controller who is relatively new to the SaaS space, who's able to go into like a CFO peer group and learn from others. To they also have a product management peer group, which we don't have any product managers on our team. So to be able to learn from that and figure out, when we are ready to hire one, what are we looking for and what kind of skills should they have? So it's super helpful.
And was that a 12-month program, the scale up program? Just remind me what the timeline was for that in terms of.
So the accelerator, there isn't really, I don't think, a timeline on it. It's more they have you know, they have things that they want you to do, both from a business perspective and then a revenue perspective to graduate to scale up. So I think we went through it pretty quick because we were, it's not like we were a startup that had no customers or anything. We had already been running for several years and had paying customers and had a pretty big team already. So yeah, we kind of hit that revenue milestone, I think just in under a year. And now we're in the scale up program, which is, as far as I can tell so far, very similar to the accelerator program. It's just the companies that you're matched up with and who are in the scale up are bigger in size and again are a bit more relatable to where we are now.
Well, that's great. So, I mean, it just kind of gives people an idea, once you graduate from the accelerator type setup, if they decide to go and apply to the Invest Ottawa type program, you're not just kind of then left to fly the nest completely. There are other opportunities for you to continue to grow with Invest Ottawa and leverage their expertise and their professionals and their mentors within these additional programs. So I think the scale up program, I think in terms of other companies, there's some big notable names within that scale up program, right? I think Ascent Compliance is one of them, right? And there's a few others like that. So it kind of gives people an overview as to what kind of talent also kind of is within that pool of cohorts. So with COVID, then tell us a little bit more about COVID and how that affected you or your company. We're now nine months into the pandemic, and hopefully on the back end of it, closer to the end than we were at the start. But how did you as a founder manage to navigate your team and your business through a global pandemic that nobody saw coming?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy. I think the hardest part for us was that we've always been in growth mode where we're thinking, who's the next hire? How do we get bigger? How do we keep up with all of the demand? And it was hard to kind of put the brakes on for a bit and be conservative, especially at the start, to feel out what was going to happen, right? The first thing we did was we called every one of our customers to see how they were doing. Some of them were totally fine. Some of them were benefiting from COVID. Okay. And there were a few that were impacted, but just knowing right off the bat, hey, how are we looking? I think we were very fortunate. We're in an annual subscription business. So like, it's not like a restaurant where the next day there's no revenue coming in. We have annual commitments or multi-year commitments with our customers. So it wasn't like, we had to shut the lights off or that revenues weren't happening. So I think we're fortunate there. We're also fortunate that a lot of our customers were not impacted or they were benefiting, and that we do email. And email is one of those things that I think actually was more important than ever during Corona. So I think we actually were one of those companies that actually benefited from it. But
email's not going away, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Every year someone says email's dead, but then it seems to be more popular than ever. So I hope it doesn't. That'd be a problem for us.
Yeah. I think you're safe. So, Pierce, you guys did something, you sort of bucked the trend with COVID and your office space. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did and how it evolved and what it's meant for your operation?
Yeah. So my first company was fully remote. It still is. And then Knak was initially fully remote, and then we had a small office here in Ottawa, actually in my basement. where we had, 7 or 8 people coming in every day.
Into your
This
basement?
is right before. Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
It's a big basement, but
Okay, good.
we're pretty tight down there.
Okay.
Which was good and bad. Yeah. So I think I kind of took for granted having us all in that space, how close we all were, how aligned we all were, that when COVID happened and that went away, it was like we struggled with alignment within our leadership team. People were more siloed. We have everything set up, Slack, Zoom, all that, but it's different, and it's much harder to keep close and not be in your silos. So we were looking for space before COVID happened. My wife was essentially kicking us out of the house.
Oh, she was evicting the big bad landlord.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't blame her. And so we're looking, we kind of put it on pause for a little bit, but as soon as things normalized, kind of in the summer, we moved into our new space. We surveyed everyone from the office beforehand, and like 80% of our employees wanted to go back to an office environment. And yeah, so we've been having people in the office since June. We have all the safety protocol, masks. We check everyone's temperature. Everyone wears masks in the common areas and in the boardrooms. And knock on wood, everything's been good so far. But it's helped us so much to be together, working with other people, and just collaborating. So
Yeah, the
yeah.
80% that you mentioned of the people wanting to take up the option of going back to the office, I think that could be in part a testament to the culture that you have developed along with the rest of the leadership team at Knak. So tell me a little bit more about the new workplace, I guess, weekly routine now. It's a little different to what we've been, hearing from other clients. But it's a really interesting program that you have made available to your employees now in terms of when to come in, when not to come in, and all that stuff. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So I mean, half of our team is remote across Canada. We really believe in hiring, the best talent wherever they are, but we're also trying to create a bit of a sales and marketing and product hub here in Ottawa, where we try and prioritize those hires to be Ottawa based. And what we're doing with our new office is under renovation right now, but our plan as we go back is that we're going to have like a hybrid work week for our Ottawa employees. We will be expecting all of them to come in, but we're doing it a little bit different. So Monday will be a work from home day, like a mandatory work from home day. Tuesday to Thursday, we're asking that people come into the office, and then Friday is optional. People want to come in, they can. If they want to work from home, they can. Our culture is very much like work-life balance. And so we're pretty flexible, right? It's like if you need to drop your kids off at school or go for a dentist appointment, we just trust that people are doing the right thing with their time, and they'll make it up another time. We're not very strict on that, and we find that, if you trust your employees, they'll really appreciate that and do the right thing in return.
I think, yeah, certainly a forward-thinking CEO, Pierce. I think you'll certainly reap the benefits of that kind of attitude in terms of talent retention and attraction. Did you guys have any issues with recruitment pre or during the pandemic? Because I know Ottawa, we've always talked about the war on talent, right? But how is your experience of backfilling available roles?
Yeah, I would say it's better than ever right now to be able to recruit, whether it's kind of the unique workplace or culture that we have, or what we're doing in the city. But we get hundreds of applications for any job that we post, and really high quality people. It's been a great problem to have, but whenever I'm still involved in the hiring process, I like to talk to everyone who joins the team still, even though we're, approaching 30 people now. And I'm always like, oh, they're all three of these people are amazing. Like, it's hard to cut two of them. So yeah, I think there is a lot of talent out there, people who have lost their jobs because of COVID, who are looking for something new. And I think as well, people who are looking for a more remote friendly environment like we provide is something that's helping us recruit people right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree with that. So I guess with 2020 approaching the end, and hopefully, as I said, we're close to the end of this pandemic, what's your thoughts, or what's your outlook for Knak and maybe the industry in general, I guess, for the next 12 to 24 months? What do you see in the tea leaves?
Yeah. So we've already seen this, but in terms of our business, things have really come back strong since the summer. I think once like the panic was over, um, what we're seeing, and we sell mostly to American companies, but that business is strong. Companies are looking forward. They're continuing to try and improve their business. They're spending money again, and people are getting used to their new routine, or being able to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So I think I'm hopeful that 2021 is going to be a really positive year, where we're going to transition back to where we were before. And regardless, we as a company are going to continue to push the limits, and see what we can make happen. But I think it's going to be a good year.
Well, we're excited to see how far you can push those limits, and we're excited to watch the growth of Knak and the company, and you continue to work through the scale-up program with Invest Ottawa. You're in phenomenal hands with some of the professionals there, and I want to thank you, Pierce, for your time today. It's been really awesome. Like, you've been an unbelievable guy to get to know over the past 24 to 48 hours, and the energy you bring, and the insight, and I guess the leadership again will simply pay dividends to you and your staff. And happy holidays, and I'm sure that we'll stay in touch and look forward to having a beer before we go. Lindsay, you got a question?
I just want to say that's a strong mustache. So send us your link for Movember if you're participating, and
yeah,
we'll make a donation.
Yeah.
And we'll also post it on the LinkedIn note as well, so our networks can potentially contribute as well.
Perfect. That
well, take care of yourself.
I need some benefit of trying to grow this thing, so I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, take care, Pierce. All the best. Bye.
Bye for now.